Hello, YouTube frogs! Hey, this is a pretty interesting video for me to make. I was going to do this on stream, but I felt like I rushed it on stream, so I ended up just recording a video for the YouTube frogs. Basically, I have been playing Genshin Impact for the last 6 months. If I show you my character archive, Amber joined the party on the 1st of January of this year. So I have been playing Genshin for almost exactly 6 months now. It is the 30th of May, so it will be June soon. As you can see, I am almost AR 56, and I also thought it would be interesting if I just show basically what I have, everything I have on this account. This is my main account. I also have an F2P account, which I'll show later. But I think it'll be interesting to show my progress, what I've basically unlocked, what characters I have on my artifacts, as a 6-month-old player. Now, I should put a disclaimer that this is not a very good representation of the average player's progress. I do progress much faster than a lot of players. One, because I actually do spend money on this game. I've bought every Welkin Moon, and I've bought every Battle Pass that's come out since. I also do Genesis Crystal top-ups for characters. And I also occasionally Primo Gem refill. I never do max refills, but I usually do about 1 to 2 refills per day. I'm trying to cut down on the habit, but I do refill, so I do progress a lot faster than the average player. But this is just to give a general idea on, what one could achieve for playing for 6 months, Maybe not as much as I have, but I think it'll be quite interesting of a look. Shall we? Okay, so first off, as you can see, I have Zhongli over here. I do consider myself a Zhongli main. We'll go over the characters first, and then we'll go over the weapons I have. And then I will go over whatever miscellaneous stuff is afterwards. So if we go to characters, now because Zhongli is going to talk a lot, I'm going to go to Traveler. As you can see, I have these characters. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 5-star characters. 1, 2, 3, 4 of which are limited, and the others are all standard. I do have every 4-star in the game except Rosaria. I do not have Rosaria, but every other 4-star I do own, some of which I have Constellation 6, which I will show. But as you can see, the only ones that I have leveled are these characters here. 9 characters: Ganyu, Bennett, Xiangling, Zhongli, Traveler, Raiden, Shenhe, and Mona. So let's just go over each and every single one. So the first limited 5-star I got was actually Shenhe. Shenhe was actually my first limited 5-star. But it was very hard playing with Shenhe when I started because she was my only 5-star and I didn't really have a good DPS. And Shenhe's not a DPS character. But anyways, instead of showing Shenhe in the order I got them in, I'll just show them in the order that they're placed here. I'll just show off these 9 characters that I actually actively played. The rest of the characters I think it's not worth showing because I don't play them, and most of them pretty much don't have artifacts. But yeah, I thought it'd be interesting. So this is my Ganyu. She was my first proper DPS character. Her stats look like so. I think they are okay. She is using a Skyward Harp, so it helps her crit a lot. But right now there is Pyro Resonance in the party. So without Pyro Resonance, she has about 2000 attack. The stats look like so. Okay crit value. I think the crit damage could probably be higher, and the elemental mastery. But I think one of the things that I noticed as a new player is that there's just not enough resources. I can't get that many artifacts compared to people who have played longer. So I just don't have that kind of level of investment. So stuff like my goblet is pretty trash. My circlet is amazing. This is probably my best artifact. Maybe my best artifact, if not my second best artifact. Like, my sands is like pretty whack as well. My feather is okay, and my flower is also okay. So you can see like some stuff I'm like it's kind of whatever. Constellation 0. She is crowned on her normal attack, but I don't really bother leveling much of the other talents. But yeah, Ganyu was my first proper main DPS, and I still do use her most of the time in the overworld. I just like playing Ganyu a lot. Ganyu is one of my favorite characters to play. Next up is Bennett. Oh, Bennett is one of those... Yes, Bennett. Bennett is one of those characters that I actually didn't manage to get for a very long time. I only got him during the Raiden banner. So in the few months that I played, like the first 4 months, I did not get Raiden. Bennett. So I was pretty bummed by that. But during that banner, I did manage to get him to Constellation 5. But we'll look at his stats. First of all, he has this much HP, this much attack with Power Resonance. Without Power Resonance, he has about 1300 attack. His stats look like so. I do build him as a sub DPS also, while maintaining a lot of support potential. Bennett, yes, thank you. His crit rate is a bit low. I'm trying to work on that, but yeah, his energy recharge is okay considering I mostly run him with Raiden. His weapon is the Mist-Splitter. Not F2P friendly, I know, but it's what it is. I'll tell the story of the Mist-Splitter later. Artifacts, 4-piece Noblesse, and his goblet is an HP goblet. I am working on trying to get a good pyro goblet, but this HP goblet is actually pretty good, so I can't change this at the moment. But I do want him to do more damage, which is why I do plan to also get an pyro damage goblet for him to get more pyro damage, and hopefully one with more crit rate. Constellation is Constellation 5. Not by choice. I actually do want Constellation 6. I am one of the few people who actually wants Constellation 6 Bennett. But unfortunately, I just haven't gotten another Bennett yet. Talents look like so. My Bennett is pretty underinvested. So I only level his burst and I've only leveled his skill once. I do plan to crown him eventually, but yeah, at the moment, no crown. Next up is Xiangling. Xiangling has these stats. They look pretty good, but I think my Xiangling actually doesn't do that much damage. I don't know why. I think my Xiangling's not super good, but her crit ratio is pretty decent. Her energy recharge is also pretty decent. Just her attack stat is really low, and the reason for that is because I am using the deathmatch, which has a very low base attack. It does, however, give me insane crit, which is why I can maintain this crit ratio. She is using the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate, so it is her best in slot option. My artifact quality for Xiangling is actually not very good. It's not even 175 crit value. So I am getting a lot of crit value out of the deathmatch, which is why her attack stat is really low, but her crit looks amazing. So yeah, my Xiangling is not super well built, but it's what it is. She is C6 though, which is really nice. I really like that. I managed to get a C6 Xiangling. Talents look like so. As you can tell, I don't level her very much. The problem with being a new player is just that I can't get enough Mora. I can't get enough talent materials. I can't get enough of boss mats. Like, it's just very hard to manage resources when you're new. So like another 6 months and I'll probably have a lot more resources to burn. But right now I'm focusing my resin on a lot of other things that's just not for some of these other characters whose talents are not as important. Alright, my favorite character, Zhongli. I am a Zhongli main. Zhongli is the character I play the most. His crit looks horrendous. His crit rate is pretty horrendous. His crit damage might seem low, but he has pretty good energy recharge, and his attack stat is really high. It is 2000, exactly 2000 without Power Resonance, so it is very high. And I also wanted to maintain at least 30,000 HP for his shield as well. So yeah, that's why his crit may not look super good, but it's actually worked out just fine for me. And his weapon is the Vortex Vanquisher. I actually didn't initially pull this weapon for Zhongli. I pulled this weapon for Shen He, but I also was trying to pull for the Amos bow, but I didn't get the Amos bow, which was good because the next day I actually pulled the Skyward Harp off of the standard banner. But this Vortex Vanquisher, after much consideration, I ended up putting it on Zhongli anyway. But yeah, so my Zhongli is built like a DPS. Even his artifact set is DPS oriented. I am running 2-piece Archaic and 2-piece Shiminawas for his damage, and he is Constellation 0, and he is double crown. He is the only character I have that is double crown. Some characters have single crown, but he is the only one that's double crown. As you can tell, I really like Zhongli. Alright, next up is the Traveler. I know a lot of people don't play Traveler, but I happen to be someone who likes Traveler, so I play Traveler. As you can see, her defense is actually really high. Her artifacts are a bit doo-doo, but she does have very low energy recharge, unfortunately, but pretty good crit ratio. I would like it to be 70%, but it's whatever. It's because her weapon is the J Cutter. I actually ended up accidentally pulling this weapon. I was trying to snipe for an R5 Sacrificial Sword, but I ended up getting a J Cutter because I hit Soft Pity without knowing. So yeah, I'm lucky enough to have a Jade Cutter. Artifact set is going to be the 2-piece Shiminawa's, 2-piece Glad, and the reason I don't go for Archaic Petra is just because I don't want to farm that domain. I will farm that domain eventually more for Zhongli, but in its current state, I'm going to use these for Traveler. It's worked out just fine, there's no problem, and she does have a Geo Goblet, which helps a lot as well. So that's my Traveler. Traveler is actually really fun, of course C6 by the way, and I actually do even level her, pretty much all her talents to a at least decent amount, because I actually do like playing Traveler. I think Geo Traveler especially is very underrated, especially if you have a Geo character to use her with. She's actually pretty good, but her weapon options, obviously, if you don't have Jade Cutter, it's pretty hard, because her damage output just isn't there. But if you have Jade Cutter, she's honestly really good. But you probably want to put the Jade Cutter on someone else anyways. Alright, next character is my best character, Raiden. Raiden is definitely my best built character. Despite the fact that she doesn't have a 5-star weapon. I am using the catch, free to play friendly. What's not free to play friendly is her Constellation 2. I did spend a significant amount of money. I lost every 50-50. I should mention that for all these characters, I have only won the 50-50 for Shenhe. Every other 5-star character I've lost the 50-50 on, which is tragic. Even all of Raiden's constellations, I lost the 50-50s. I did get some earlies here and there, but, you know, doesn't beat winning the 50-50. Anyways, my Raiden looks like this. Her stats are 1900 attack, with 60 crit. With the catch, it's basically 72% crit rate, 143 crit damage. Energy recharge is a bit low, but I went for more damage because if you don't have Engulfing Lightning, an attack sense is actually better than an energy recharge sense for damage. And she does have an Electro Goblet, which helps a lot. She is using the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fates. And out of all my characters, no cap, Raiden is actually the one with the best crit value out of all of my characters in terms of just artifacts alone. But yeah, Constellation 2, I would say it's pretty worth it. Her damage is insane. For people who are thinking, should I get a C2 Raiden? If you have the wallet, I would say she's pretty worth it, but I also don't really advocate for spending money on this game. So yeah, she is crowned. I actually crowned her the day after I got her because I pre-farmed so much for her. But yeah, Raiden is easily my strongest character out of any of my other characters. Alright, Shenhe. Shenhe is an interesting one. She is built with basically all attack. A little bit of energy recharge, not too much because I just haven't been lucky with her artifacts. But also, I do not farm artifacts for Shenhe at all. Like, all of these are garbage artifacts that I have not changed since I was like AR50. So I literally don't touch any of these. But she is running the 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Shiminawa's to give her more attack, and her weapon is the Royal Spear, which also gives her a lot of attack. Now, I do plan to pull for Staff of Homa in the future, so when that happens, I will get the Staff of Homa for Zhongli, and I'll put the Vortex Vanquisher on Shenhe. But yeah, Shenhe is very easy to build, very cheap to build. Just stack a lot of attack on her. Attack, attack, attack. Like, it's dead simple. Not anything too difficult. Now, Mona is an interesting one. Mona is the only character I have that I actively play who is not max ascended. She is only level 80 out of 80. Even Xingqiu is 80 out of 90. So my Mona is actually very badly built because I literally don't farm for Mona. If I get artifacts to use on her, I just use it, but otherwise I don't use it. But this is my Mona. Very terrible crit ratio, but pretty good energy recharge. She is using the Witsith for damage on her burst. I usually use Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers. Sometimes the Favonius Codex if I want to get her burst up. But recently I've been liking using the Witsith, which is why I've been using it. Artifacts are the 2-piece Emblem and 2-piece Wanderer's Troop. And the reason for this is just because I don't have a good 4-piece Emblem for her. Like, seriously, that's all. I would like 4-piece Emblem for Mona, but I just can't. I don't have it. She is Constellation 0, and her talents are 2, 4, 7. I would like to level this in the future, but again, not much resources to give to her. Finally, the last character I have that I actively play, Xingqiu. His stats, he's also pretty badly built. I should say that first. His stats look like that. I know, terrible crit rate, decent crit damage, and pretty good energy recharge. He actually doesn't need this much energy recharge, especially since I have Sacrificial Sword, which is R5. I'm pretty lucky to get an R5 Sacrificial Sword, but I actually have too much energy recharge on him, not gonna lie. His set is also like some scuff set. It's 2-piece emblem, 2-piece Shiminawas, and the reason I'm using 2-piece Shiminawas is because I actually, again, don't have a good 4-piece emblem for him. That's the problem with being new to the game. You just don't have enough artifacts to use. But yeah, as much as I would like to get this up, I currently don't have 4-piece emblem. I will use 4-piece emblem in the future if I get good pieces, but as of now, this is what he has to live with. I should mention he's also C6, and his talents are 3, 7, 9. As you see, I don't level some of these talents very much, just because I don't have the resources. So that's all the characters that I actually actively use. As you can see, some characters I actually have leveled, like Ning Guang and Yan Fei, because I actually used to play these and I don't play them anymore. They basically have nothing. They have nothing on them. The next character I'm gonna pull for is going to be Kazuha, and I do have a Kazuha set ready, as well as his weapon, which I'll show in the weapon section. But right now they're all temporarily on Jean. I don't actually plan to play Jean, but I should show you. I do have a Constellation 1 Jean, and I unfortunately also have a Constellation 2 Chi-Chi. I actually got 2 Chi-Chis off the standard banner, and 1 Chi-Chi from losing a 50-50. So it's not like the worst thing because I didn't lose 3 50-50s to Chi-Chi. I only lost 1, but it's also not great. And also I have Diluc, who I don't play because I think Diluc is trash. That's it for the characters. Let's show my weapons. As you can see, as a 6-month player, I do have a nice amount of 5-star weapons, which most people will not have. I have been pretty lucky with my weapons compared to the character banner, where I lost every 50-50 on the character banner. I have been pretty good in terms of luck. I won my 50-50 for the Jade Cutter, I won my 50-50 for my Mist-Splitter, and then, right after getting this Mist-Splitter, at 11 pity, I pulled a second Mist-Splitter. So as you can see, I've been very, very lucky with the Mist-Splitter. And also the Vortex Vanquisher was actually a blessing in disguise, because if I had pulled the Amos Bow, the next day I pulled the Skyward Harp, which would have been a bit wasted at the time. So actually pulling the Vortex Vanquisher was a good thing. I don't regret getting this weapon, even though it sucks. I also have a level 1 Everlasting Moonglow. I was trying to pull for the Engulfing Lightning for Raiden, but I didn't get it. The good thing is that this came early. I remember it came at 24 pity, so not too bad, but could have been Engulfing Lightning, you know? And then I have the whole myriad of 4-star weapons here. Some of which I use, like these, level 90. And then everything else I kind of don't use. Oh, I do use the Witsith. I have a level 80 Favonius Lance, which I was planning on putting on Shangling, but I ended up using the Deathmatch instead for the crit rate. Yeah, and basically every other weapon I just don't use. I do have some Battle Pass weapons. Like I said, I've bought every Battle Pass. So I have the Black Sword, I have the Solar Pearl, I also have the Deathmatch. So yeah, pretty much that's I think that's a pretty good selection of weapons I have. Now, as you can see, from the top right, I actually don't have very many artifacts. Yeah, I have a disgustingly little amount of artifacts. And the reason for this is actually because if I get any garbage artifacts, I sacrifice them to the strongbox. Because I'm trying to get good Noblesse pieces, I'm trying to get good Wanderers pieces. So I actually don't keep a lot of artifacts that are like trash as XP material. Now, a lot of you might think it's a waste that I'm just throwing away XP, but for me, I'd rather just have a chance of getting a good artifact than just using it as XP. So as you can see, I have the most like emblem pieces, just because a lot of characters need emblem. Emblem is just too good of a domain to farm. Some Shiminawas, which I do hope to get more of. Archaic Petra, only 2 for Zhongli. I should mention this is probably my best artifact. This is almost 50 crit value. It's fairly close to 50 crit value. It is disgusting. It is one of my earliest artifacts. I think it was my first artifact that was over 40 crit value. It's pretty crazy. So this is probably my best artifact. What good artifacts do I have? My Raiden Feather is pretty good. This is a 38 crit value. My Raiden's Sands is really good too, 35 crit damage as well. Yeah, I have some pretty good artifacts. This Electro Goblet is also really good. A ton of crit rate. And this Cryo Goblet's okay. I wish I could use this on Ganyu, but my Ganyu already has an off-piece. So hopefully I can off-piece that off. I can off-piece this in the future when I get a good Wanderer's Circlet, which may or may not happen. This feather I have on Xingqiu is actually disgustingly good as well. Just not good on Xingqiu. My Bennett pieces in general are pretty decent. I think this Energy Recharge Sands is not bad. This HP Goblet, even though I don't really want to use it, I should lock that. Is also pretty decent. This Crit Rate Circlet on Raiden is pretty good too. It has a ton of attack, which I kind of needed as well. So it might seem a bit copium, but actually on my Raiden, it's perfect. I also have this Recharge Sands that I don't have on anybody right now, but it has a lot of crit damage. And yeah, that's basically all my like noteworthy artifacts. Oh yeah, and of course, my insane circlet with 20% crit rate, which is absolutely nuts. But yeah, I do have some good pieces, not a lot of good pieces, but you know, having played for 6 months, I think I have a decent amount of good pieces. Just not a lot of good artifacts in general in terms of just pure amount. But yeah, some decent pieces. Now, as you can see, I don't have many XP materials, but I do, however, have a ton of enemy drops. Because I do farm a lot of mobs, a lot of elite mobs as well, just so I can stock up on these. And I have a ton of these. Even the handguards I have quite a lot of. Chaos Axis, I actually am running low because I had to level 2 Missplitters. But basically, that's what it looks like. Spectres I farm every once in a while. These prism thingies. These things I don't have a lot of. These are the new chasm drops, so I don't have them very much. But I do farm every single boss every single week. So as you can see, I have a ton of boss... Well, not a ton, but a decent amount of boss mats for someone who's been playing for, you know, half a year, for a very short period of time, who's had to level a lot of characters. Because I do every boss, I have stocked up on quite a few of these. I also have quite a few materials ready, as you can see, marionette cores, and these turquoise chunks for Kazuha, as well as a few, where are they? Diligence books, which I have to farm more of for Kazuha in the future as well. Now, in terms of other mats, like weapon mats, I actually don't have a lot of them, because I only farm them when I need to. Food, not very interesting, but I do have a ton of Sweet Madames. Quite a few Adeptus Temptation just for damage testing, and some potions as well. And finally, I have not that many crystal chunks. I should farm these, but I don't farm them very often these days. But what I do have a lot of are crystal cores, because I farm them every day. I go around looking for crystal cores every day just so I never have to run out. So I do have quite a nice amount of crystal cores stocked up. Basically never run out, especially since I still farm them every day. And yeah, not a lot of other food materials. I don't know who will be interested in looking at my food materials, but yeah, not that many. Oh yeah, and I should mention 17 solvents. And not a lot of these radiant spin crystals. I actually have more of these spin crystals on my F2P account than on my main, which is hilarious to me. But yeah, that's basically it. As far as my game progress, I have basically finished every single quest, every single story quest, and almost every single hangout event. The only hangout event I haven't finished is Chongyun's, because I don't care. And I've also done all the other stuff. I've maxed my Sacred Sakura. I've maxed all of my statues of 7, even the Electro one, which I just recently did because I've been procrastinating about doing it. And by tomorrow, I will hit AR56. So yeah, 6 months in, and I'm basically AR56 with basically all the content cleared in the game. And I should also mention, I have 36 starred the Spiral Abyss. That was fun. This is actually the first Abyss I've 36 starred. I should show my progress. So as you can see, the last few times I've 35, 34. My camera's blocking, but it says 34, 32, 28, 15, 8. So this is the first Abyss I've actually 36 starred, which I'm pretty proud. I think I cleared this a few weeks ago, so 5 months in, and 5 months and I think like 2 weeks, being able to 36 star the Abyss, I feel pretty good about it. I think it's pretty nice. I generally don't know how long it takes for players to be able to 36 star the Abyss. And like I said, I do actually spend money on this game, so I shouldn't be used as a gauge. But, you know, I'm pretty proud of myself to be able to 36 star the Abyss this early on. But yeah, that's it for my main account. Just as a bonus, I'll jump quickly on my F2P account just to show what I've been doing on my F2P account as well. Alright, so we're into the F2P account. This is my F2P account. So the goal of this F2P account is actually to play characters that I don't really play on my main. Which is why I have Ayaka, I have Diluc. Now, Mona's a bit of an interesting one. I have no choice but to use Mona. But like Amber, Sayu, characters that I generally don't have, I try to get on my F2P account. So if you want to know how old this F2P account is, let me show you. It is... Oh, I started playing on exactly May. So this F2P account has been active for almost exactly 1 month. And it is AR46. And I have these many characters. Oh my god, it's so sad. You can't see it, but at the bottom, it's Razor, Lisa, and Barbara. That's all the characters I have. Shut up, Barbara. So as you can see, I don't have many characters on this, but I have generally been very lucky on this account. So to put into perspective, my Mona came early on the standard banner. Then my Ayaka came early on the character banner. My Diluc came very early. He came at 1 pity after getting a Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds on the standard banner. And as you can see, I also have a Misplitter on this account because yes, even though I'm F2P, I did pull on the weapons banner because I really wanted the Misplitter for Ayaka. Now the reason I don't go for Ayaka on my main and the reason why I'm playing Ayaka on here is because I have Ganyu on my main, so I didn't want another cryo DPS. So I thought it would be more interesting if I pulled for Ayaka on the F2P account. But Ayaka right now is my only fully built character. As you can see, she has a Misplitter, level 80. Which is max at my current AR. Ayaka is level 80 herself. She does have the 4-piece Blizzard. Her talents are pretty low, but it's a 1 month old account, guys. Come on. And her stats are pretty good, if I do say so myself. 43% crit rate, which is a little bit too high, but I wanted at least 40% to be comfortable. 236 crit damage. Yes. And also, once I ascend her, she gets more crit damage, and when I'm able to level 90 the weapon, she will also get more crit damage that way. So she'll have about 250% crit damage with about 1800 attack at level 90 and 123 recharge, which is okay. So yeah, my Ayaka is actually pretty well built on this account. Actually, ironically, almost better built than most of my characters on my main. I do have a video upcoming where I show my journey getting these artifacts. I spent 2,000 resin on the Blizzard Straya domain on stream, which hopefully will be ready by next week. Next up, we have Diluc. Now, Diluc is very fresh. He has almost nothing. He has only 3 artifacts, one of which is a Power Goblet though, and he has the level 60 prototype Archaic. The reason why Diluc is super unbuilt is because I literally just pulled him yesterday. Like, I seriously just pulled him yesterday. So he has nothing. Mona has been pretty neglected. My Mona is not very good. She's only level 50, as you can see. And she does have a Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds. Now, I know Lost Prayer is not a very good weapon. But unfortunately, I need it for the crit rate. Because my Mona's artifacts are very doo-doo. And the reason why she has 4-piece Heart of Depth is because I just got a lot of Heart of Depth from farming Blizzard Straya. So I might as well just put whatever good ones I had on her. So she doesn't have very good artifact quality right now. But I will work on Mona in the future. And her talents are basically not leveled as well because I haven't ascended her. And finally, Sayu. Again, Sayu is pretty unbuilt because I also just pulled Sayu yesterday. But yeah, I've been hoping to get a Sayu for her healing because I seriously do not want to play Barbara even on this account. So Sayu is one of my favorite characters, so I do plan to play her. I will work on getting her 4-piece Viridescent. I do have a healing bonus circlet on her because I want to build her healing. Constellation is 0. I do want her Constellation 1 if I can get it, but if I can't, bummer. I'm just glad to be able to pull Sayu because I have a Constellation 4 Rosaria on this account, but not a single copy of Rosaria on my main account. Yet I have a Constellation 4 Sayu on my main account, but I took so long to pull Sayu on this account, which is like, bro. But yeah, I was planning to build Amber. I still am planning to build Amber, but unfortunately Amber is just not putting in the work for me. So I will build her along the way, but she will be taking a little bit of a backseat. My priorities right now on the F2P account are building Diluc and building Sayu, as well as Mona. I also need to build Mona. After getting this weapon, I pulled this weapon yesterday, so you know, that's my F2P account. Pretty fun. My Ayaka does a lot of damage, but everyone else is trash. So Ayaka is low-key hard carrying this account right now, as well as the Mist-Splitter, of course. Now, being new and being F2P, I don't have a lot of weapons on this account. As you can see, I somehow have 2 5-star weapons on this account. I mean, the Mist-Splitter I pulled for, but this came by accident. The Lost Prayer. But as you can see, even for 4 stars, I don't have a lot of weapons. There's a lot of weapons I want, but I don't have. I want a Favonius Greatsword for Sayu because it's better than the Sacrificial. But yeah, in general, not a lot of weapons and not a lot of materials because I am so new on this account. Only less than 1 month old. So yeah, I do try to do every boss as well on this account. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of boss materials, but yeah. I am planning to build this account as much as possible so that I can eventually clear the Spiral Abyss, because that would be pretty sick. And I just want to play new characters, you know. Playing the same characters on my main, you know, as fun as it is, sometimes I just don't have anything to do and I need time to kill, so I hop on this account just to play a bit. But yeah, in general, my F2P account is still very fresh, so, you know, I don't have anything of value. Not anything of value, but I don't have many things. So as you can see, all these artifacts are like pretty copium. Except for some of my, you know, my Ayaka artifacts, which, you know, just to spoil a bit, some of which are pretty good. So if you guys are interested in that video, hopefully by next week I will have the Ayaka video up. But yeah, that's basically it for my accounts. I hope this shows a pretty nice gauge, even though my main is not a very good representation, but it should show like a very nice representation of what you can achieve, how far you can progress in this game. I will say you absolutely do not have to spend any money on this game, but spending money does in fact help a crazy amount. Like I can't even deny it. It actually helps a crazy amount spending money on this game. I should say I do not advocate spending money on this game, but if you do, make sure you know the risk, you know the consequences, and make sure you're happy with it is the important thing. Try not to spend money on this game, but if it makes you happy and you have the resources, by all means, do so. I hope this was interesting for anyone looking to find out what you can do in the game, how far you can progress in a certain period of time. This has been very interesting to show for me as well. Alright, if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe if you want. If you don't want, who cares? Don't subscribe. And look forward to that Ayaka Blizzard Straya domain run in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.